Welcome back to Vander's View channel. Yeah, I'm just riding through the beautiful town of Franschhoek. If you've not seen how I ended up in Franschhoek, please go and have a look at the previous video. What a beautiful day. Yeah, this is a late winter's day. The sun is shining, it is not too cold, no wind, beautiful scenery, architecture here in Franschhoek. And I'm just happy to proceed with a series of trips that I started already yesterday. But yeah, let's just find our way through Franschhoek. This is the main street. Of course, as mentioned in the previous video, Franschhoek has got a distinct French character. I mean, the French Huguenots settled here, well, since 1688 already, so it's hundreds of years ago. And you see many things French here. Even Bastille Day festivals happen in the month of July. So the history of the French Huguenot in this area is seen everywhere in the names of farms and the names of people. And also here in front is the French Huguenot monument that is being erected in commemoration of the French Huguenots. And it is here next to the French Huguenot Museum. We're just going to ride past. All kinds of activities, bicycles, other motorcycles, hikers. This is just the kind of weather when one wants to get out. Yeah, here is the museum. This is the French Huguenot Museum. But now we are heading up the Franschhoek Pass. Where are we going today? Well, on this trip my end destination is the town of Grabouw. But to get to Grabouw we need to get through or across the Franschhoek Mountains, and the Franschhoek Pass is the road to take. And I think this is going to be a beautiful ride. So it is immediate climbing. I think the climbing will continue for a while. As of course the Franschhoek Pass crosses through this neck area or saddle area in the mountains, and apparently many years ago, I mean in the time when Jan van Riebeeck came to the Cape, this road or this route through the mountains were actually used by elephants to also cross this section of the mountain, and that is why it was known as the Olifants Road or the Elephants Road. So that is quite interesting to just think that elephants also walked around here. Yeah, so there was always at least an informal track or route to take through the mountains. But of course there was also the need to construct a more proper road, and Lord Charles Somerset in 1823 he decided this road needs to be built, and he assigned this task to a certain Major Holloway, and he made use of the Royal African Corps troops to build this pass, and it took him 2 years to build. So it was completed in 1825. But yeah, at that time, of course, for many years after that first construction of this road, it was a dirt road. It fell a bit in disrepair. So by 1930, apparently this road was not in a very good condition, and it was rebuilt or at least renovated in 1933, and then in 1963 it was tarred. So it's been tarred now, what is it, for the past 60 years or so. Thanks to everybody that has commented on the previous series and also on my more recent videos. I'm just pleased to be back on the bike and to bring these trips to you. I'm calling this, or naming this series, the Cape Valley series, because I'm really going to ride through many beautiful valleys in this trip, or in this series. So I'm just riding out of the Drakenstein and the Franschhoek Valley now, and we will now cross over to the other side, where we will get to explore areas like the Elgin Valley and beyond. So that is certainly where we will ride through by the time we get to the town of Grabouw. Yeah, but this road is providing us a beautiful view of the valley back to the Franschhoek Valley. Yeah, one can see all the way to the Simonsberg there on the other side. Of course, the Simonsberg is looking across or over to on the other side to the town of Stellenbosch. Yeah, so this is the part of the road there. There's some construction where it's been going on for a long time. You can see how the road has been damaged here, but it is safe to ride through if there's no traffic coming from the front. It's been a long time that this road has been under this kind of construction. I suppose it's quite difficult to fix if the road's away like this. Yeah, but just look at this view back. Yeah. Not sure if you can see, but the GPS in front shows that we will soon be getting to the tightest of hairpin bends in the pass. Now, very popular with cyclists. I think a bit of a test of endurance to cycle up this road. I'm doing, of course, this trip with my trusted Honda CRF 300 Rally. I've used this bike for all of my trips, all of the series posted on the channel so far. It just remains a joy to ride. Yeah, now we are getting to the tightest bends on this pass. All the while one can have a look back at Franschhoek. Just make a stop here to enjoy the view. must say, this is some of the best views I've ever seen from this pass. I've ridden this quite a few times, but the sun and the conditions is just perfect this morning. But let's continue up the pass. I think we are basically at the summit. Yeah, last look at Franschhoek before we cross over. Yeah, indeed, this is the summit. And there is definitely a bit of a breeze. But yeah, just look, immediately the views towards this side opens up. Now, the Franschhoek Pass must surely be one of the most beautiful passes in the country. Yeah. Now it's quite a long and sweeping descent. And there in the distance one can already start seeing the Theewaterskloof Dam becoming visible. We will soon be riding next to the Theewaterskloof Dam. So you might recall that in my very first series, the last trip of the very first series, I also drove this pass, but from the other side. So this is not the first time that this pass is featuring on Vander's View. But as I said many times, beautiful roads cannot be ridden only once. And today my trip goes over the pass again. But I'm going to take off in a different direction, of course, to Grabouw. Last time when I came this from the other side, I made the crossing from the town of Montagu to Franschhoek. So if you've not seen that video, please go and have a look. The very first series. So as I said, Major Holloway built this pass in 1825, and yeah, it could not have been an easy task. They only took 2 years to build it. He did it with the Royal African Corps, or troops from the Royal African Corps, and certain sections were of course more difficult to build than others, and we will soon be getting to a section that contains apparently one of the deepest ravines that he had to cross, and where a bridge had to be built. Yeah, no, this pass has just got beautiful sections. Let's just make a quick turn off here. Yeah. You can just see that the ravines down here are quite deep. And as I mentioned, certain sections of these ravines had to be crossed. But let's continue. Sure. Now we are now getting to the section where there was quite a deep ravine that had to be crossed when Major Holloway built this pass in, what was it, 1825. And this is where the Jan Joubert Bridge is. Now this bridge is significant. It is a national monument. It was declared a national monument in 1979, and this is the oldest stone bridge in all of South Africa. So yeah, quite a significant site, and it is named after frontiersman Jan Joubert, who apparently had a fatal accident here at this very spot. So the bridge is named in his commemoration. So in that video that I made in the first series, I actually go down and have a look at this bridge. So if you want to see more of what the bridge looks like underneath, on the under the bridge, please go and have a look. Gee, oh, this pass is just so beautiful today. It is, yeah, it's a ride that one doesn't want to end. I think when it comes to motorcycling, these are the kind of roads that just makes this special. Now, there's certainly very, very deep sections down here. Some nice pools in the river. And the pass has quite a number of these beautiful parking spots. Yo, let's just have a peep at this one as well. I know far down below the river is flowing. You can see some erosion from probably heavy rains towards that side. But let's continue. So the pass is still descending for quite some distance, but we will soon be riding out of this beautiful valley and start to approach the Theewaterskloof Dam. So let's just enjoy the views of these sweeping bends. So these sections had been under construction for quite some time, so it might not be something that's going to be fixed quite soon or easy to fix. You can see the erosion carving away on the road here. Yeah. Certainly quite an unsafe situation. So this is the De Toys River. So the De Toys River is the one that flows through those deep ravines coming down this side of the Franschhoek Pass. Yeah, now the valley has opened up. Oh, the Theewaterskloof Dam. There in the distance you can see it shining or reflecting in the distance. Now the Theewaterskloof Dam is by far the largest dam in the Western Cape. One just gets a beautiful, beautiful view onto the islands in the dam here. So this dam represents about 41% of the water requirements of the Western Cape and the city of Cape Town. And yeah, it is scary to think that towards the end of 2017, beginning of 2018, that summer, this dam was almost completely empty. It was heading towards 10% of water capacity, and that last 10% cannot be extracted. So it was for practical purposes running dry and caused a serious concern and threat to the city of Cape Town. Actually, well, the threat of running out of water. Yeah, so we're connecting here at the T-junction. To the left is Villiersdorp and to the right is direction Grabouw. Oh, quite a scary sight seeing such a big truck making the turn. So this is the Sonderend River, the bridge, but it's basically crossing over quite a broad part of the Theewaterskloof Dam. Yeah, all kinds of water sport activity then also on this dam. But yeah, it extends to a significant distance to that side where the dam wall is also situated. But yeah, we will be just riding across for now and head away from the dam. I just made a quick stop to have a look at the map here. Not sure if it's so visible on the GPS, but we are actually going to ride along some more parts of the, well, the vast Theewaterskloof Dam. So you can actually see sections of the dam continuing there. We will ride alongside it. And to get out of this valley of the Theewaterskloof Dam, we need to cross over that part of the mountain there. You can actually see the road. So I think there's another steep section coming for us, but then on the other side of that mountain is the Elgin Valley, which is another beautiful valley. So let's continue. Let's see what this is looking like. Yeah, the Theewaterskloof Dam is just continuing. Yeah, it's always good to see this dam so full. So after the threat of 2017, 2018, some decent winter rain came in 2019, 2020, and the dam filled up again. And since then we had consistent winter rain to ensure that this dam overflows every winter. So hopefully we will not have that scare of a severe drought soon in Cape Town again. We're actually very close to the dam now, but one can just not see it. Oh, there it is. But what a ride! Yeah, these are the kind of conditions that one longs for when you do a motorcycle ride, and to have this in late winter is just perfect. Now we are getting higher and higher, looking back at the Theewaterskloof Dam there in the distance, and on the GPS there's a very tight hairpin bend coming up. I really wonder whether this is a pass with a name. I'm actually quite surprised seeing this road. I'm not familiar with this area. So if I knew this is quite a significant pass, I would have tried to look up some information. So sorry about that, but let's just enjoy it. The views are just getting better and better the further we go. This almost feels like the hairpin bend in Franschhoek Pass. It is very tight. Sure. This is a proper 180. Okay, no, so the road is actually not going to that side. It is going to this side, which is less steep. So I was a bit confused. That looked quite steep, that side. But yeah, no, it's crossing over on this side. So we're not done with dams yet. So we climbed quite a bit, and you will see there's another small dam here. And this is the Nieuweberg Dam. So it's also just a dam with an earth wall. There's another one of these earth wall dams, the Eikenhof Dam. I think if I remember correctly, the Eikenhof Dam was constructed or established in 1977. So we should be seeing this soon, but it's significantly lower down than the Nieuweberg Dam. That's for sure. I mean, we are descending quite rapidly now. The whole family of baboons. Ah, yeah, there in front, significantly larger than the Nieuweberg is the Eikenhof Dam. Behind that, or if you look beyond that, you will see the town of Grabouw emerging. But yeah, Grabouw has got a very interesting history. It's of course the economic hub of this Elgin Valley area. But if you just look back in history, apparently a certain German with the name of Wilhelm Langschmidt bought the farm called Grietjesgat in this area in 1856, and then a little community started to develop around a trading store that his wife had in this area. And later Wilhelm Langschmidt then named this area Grabouw, and that is after the town Grabouw in Germany, where Wilhelm Langschmidt was born. So then in the early 1900s, this area, well, had an agricultural revolution. That's the only way to describe it, as deciduous fruit farming just exploded in this area, and everywhere you look, fruit are being produced, and especially Grabouw is very, very well known for apple production. So much so that this region today is the single largest area in the whole of southern Africa when it comes to exporting of fruit. Now, it's quite significant. Before we get to Grabouw, I just want to make a quick drive-by at the Elgin Railway Market. I don't have much background on it, but as far as I know, it's quite a famous market where one can buy and browse for all kinds of goodies. So it seems to be down here, the Elgin station. Let's just go and have a quick look. Oh, what a beautiful little village area. Honey on tap. Oh, this must be the railway station of Elgin. This is now beautiful. The railway market is down here. So it's all right next to the railway track. One can just imagine that a railway is very important for the export of the fruit. It's called the Elgin Bazaar. Yeah, so the railway market should be in here. I'm not going to make a stop now, but it seems to be quite a pleasant place to come and have a drink and something to eat. Maybe to buy some fresh produce. But maybe I should make a stop and just have an apple. I just made a stop for a leg stretch here close to the railway market in Elgin. I'm just gonna stretch my legs, have a bit of a snack, maybe an apple, seeing that we are in apple country. Yeah, what an interesting stop at the Elgin Railway Market. I wasn't actually planning to stop here, but then made a turn, and I'm so pleased I did. This is a beautiful little village here in Elgin, and then when I waited there, I had my apple at the train station. I met up with Johan. He was walking his dog, and he said no, he's watching Werner's View. So thanks, Johan. It was a great little chat, because he then alerted me to the fact that the train is actually on its way from Cape Town. It takes about 3.5 hours, and his wife is coming on the train. So I just waited a bit with him to see the train, and well, it just shows you can have a wonderful excursion from Cape Town, a relaxing train ride, come to the Elgin Railway Market. Yeah, sounds like a wonderful trip to me. But thanks, Johan. It was great chatting to you, and yeah, thanks for watching Werner's View. So let's continue now on to Grabouw. So Elgin Railway Market and Grabouw is practically next to each other. I mean, it is less than 2 kilometers to go. Everything is about fruit in this area. Yeah. You can just see that the crates for transporting fruit and the orchards and everything is just geared towards fruit production. So this is the entrance to the town of Grabouw. And you know me, I always like to just go and see what the center of town looks like, and I will just make a quick stop next to the church, the Dutch Reformed Church in Grabouw. Elgin Fruit Growers Business Park. You see, everything to do with fruit. And this must be the Palmit River. Yes, the Palmit River flows through the town of Grabouw. And there I can see the church steeple in the distance. Oh, there's some significant shopping activity on the go here in Grabouw. Let me just make a few turns. The busy Saturday morning. Oh. So the original church in Grabouw was built in 1895, but it's a much more modern version that we have here today. This one was built in 1954, so that is much newer. Let me just make a stop here on the church grounds. I made a stop here in the church grounds of the Dutch Reformed Church in Grabouw. And this is where I'm going to end this trip. Thank you so much for riding along. I made the trip here. I started there in Franschhoek and crossed the beautiful Franschhoek Pass, and then made my way to Grabouw via the Theewaterskloof Dam. What a nice little stop it was there at the railway market in Elgin, and then also catching up with the train arriving from Cape Town. I hope you enjoyed that part of the video. But yeah, if you enjoyed this trip, please give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, I am continuing now from Grabouw, and I will bring this to you in the next video. So all the best, bye bye.